Hello friends, Christian here with Brick Life Crisis. Today we're taking a look at the LEGO Star Wars set number 75262. This is the Imperial Dropship 20th Anniversary Edition. The set consists of 125 pieces, including 5 minifigures, 4 of which are officially part of the set, and the other is a 20th Anniversary Edition of Han Solo. Let's go ahead and crack it open and take a look. Before we get into the set too much, I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate the box art. We have this nice 20th anniversary logo over here on the side, but what I really appreciate is this kind of branding, Star Wars branding around the edge. That is very reminiscent of the old Kenner Star Wars packaging from the action figures from when I was a kid, and so there's just some nostalgia involved in that. There's a little bit better look at that 20th anniversary logo there. They've got some nice art all the way around, and in the back it shows the set along with the collectible minifigures that are available on all of these 20th anniversary sets. So, pretty nicely done. Inside the box, I was pleased to find a straight, flat manual, which was cool. These are a little bit nicer than typical manuals, only in that they have a little bit of history inside. The 20 years ago, with a little bit of a paragraph about the beginning of LEGO Star Wars. And then there's a comparison of the original set, in this case back in 2008, compared to the new version 2019. The original set, unfortunately, I never had, but it was kind of a cool model. And that's the new version. And then it goes into some of the other sets that are available under the 20th anniversary line. And then eventually we get into our directions. Alright, here we have it, set number 75262, the Imperial Dropship 20th Anniversary Edition. As you can see, we have an exclusive 20th Anniversary version of Han Solo, as well as the dropship and its crew and passengers. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at each of these one by one. And this is our exclusive 20th Anniversary Han Solo figure. The figure is based on the original Han Solo that came with the 2000 Millennium Falcon, and he is essentially the same. Let's take a little bit of a closer look, and I can point out a few of the subtle differences. Alright, here he is, Han Solo, in the form that we saw him originally back in the year 2000. There is a little bit of a printing difference between this and the original. The yellow under the shirt on the torso is not quite as vibrant as it was on the original. It's not bad. In fact, this particular specimen is probably better than some of the others that you may have seen on other people's reviews. It's not bad at all, really. But in a lot of cases, the printing is not quite opaque enough, so that's something to be aware of. Also, the brown color of the hair is slightly different. This is more of a reddish brown versus a more browny brown, if that makes sense. He includes the old blaster, which is the megaphone piece with just a blue stud on the end, which is cool. The print on the legs is nice, but the biggest difference, of course, is on the back. They have the 20th anniversary logo, which I don't mind because for me, this will be just a display piece. For those that want to use this in dioramas or to actually play with, it might be a bit distracting, and it's a little bit disappointing, I suppose, for people who want to use this as a playable figure to have such a big logo on the back. It might have been cool if they had done something a little more subtle for those people that want to use this in another way. I understand why they did it, to maintain the value for collectors of the originals, but it might have been nice if they had found another way to do something rather than such a big logo on the back. Anyway, I think he's pretty well done, and I'm very happy to have this one. Here we have his display stand. That print is unique to this set. The logo is the same on the other 20th anniversary sets, but of course they have the names of their figures rather than Han Solo there at the bottom. It's basically a typical figure stand with a couple of 1x4 plates on either side, with 2 of these arching bricks for the front and back, just to hold it all together. And then they also include a 2x4 that you can put under like that, so that if you have other 20th anniversary sets, you can clip the stands together. That's kind of a cool idea, and this is not bad looking by any stretch. In fact, it looks pretty good. However, I'm curious why they didn't stick with the same figure stands that they've been using for some of the exclusive figures that we've gotten recently, like the Han Solo Mud Trooper, as well as the Shore Trooper and DJ and some of those guys that had those detailed print placards on the back. It just might have been nice to have that sort of thing instead of a brand new type of stand. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think I might have liked something like this logo perhaps on that card on the back rather than on a stand, so that you could display these figures next to those. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And here we have an Imperial Stormtrooper. There are 3 of these included with the set, and they each have a stud shooter weapon. I wish, I've said this many times before, but I wish they would have included a standard weapon as well, either a sidearm or a medium or large long rifle blaster. But the stud shooters are fine, but as an adult fan of LEGO, I much prefer the more realistic weapons, so I wish they had included those either in addition to or rather than the stud shooters. But let me know in the comments below what you think, whether you like the stud shooters, if you prefer the more realistic weapons, or if you're like me and would be perfectly fine to have both. You'll notice this Stormtrooper is a little bit different than ones we've had in the past. The print is pretty much the same, but this is the new helmet. This is a dual molded helmet, so if we take the helmet off, first of all, you can see the angry clone face, but if we look inside, you can see that there is black molded with white on top, and then there's some kind of silverish gray paint application. No alternate face for this guy, by the way. I do like this helmet. There are a couple of downsides. The LEGO community in general is kind of mixed on this. The problem that people are talking about is you can't really move the head because the chin piece comes down so far. Another issue is the size of it. It's a bit oversized in comparison to the rest of the body. I mean, that helmet is as bigger than the whole torso, which is a little bit odd. I can look past the oversizedness because LEGO stuff is generally not in proportion anyway. It kind of has a cartoonish look in my opinion, and that's just fine. What I do like about this, however, is that even though there is a flesh-colored head underneath, when you turn the figure around, you don't see that unless you're at a very low angle, which is not very likely. So this does a much better job of previous helmets of hiding that. So for that, I really like this new helmet. Speaking of the new helmet, let's take a look at the Shadow Trooper and his helmet. Alright, this is the Shadow Trooper. The print is pretty much the same as the Stormtrooper, but in reverse. So there's a black body with some silver gray print, and then the helmet is pretty much the same too. And again, you see much less of the skin. You notice it a little bit more in this figure only because the contrast is much higher, so you can see the difference between the black and the flesh more easily than you could between the white and the flesh, but it's still substantially better than the TIE Fighter pilot helmets that we've seen recently. While this is not a TIE Fighter pilot, this is a Shadow Trooper. It's a different figure in a different mold. They're similar, and anyway, I really like this guy. He's pretty cool. And here we have the dropship itself. This is a non-canonical vehicle. This is something that LEGO designers created back in 2008, and then this is their updated version. The new version has a little bit different design, but it's got some design cues from the original. The canopy is a bit smaller, which I prefer actually. There's room for one figure to go inside, and there's a nice console there that's a sticker. Let's take a little bit closer look at that. And there's a little bit better look at that control panel. That's a sticker, but it's a print that I have not seen before. It looks pretty cool, I think. Have you guys seen this before? Let me know. There are a few other stickers on the set. This Imperial insignia on the top, and then these 2x2 round tiles on either side have the Rebel insignia on them as well. These winglets are slightly different. Before they were just the angled plates, and now these are shaped a little bit more, and they can angle in and out as well as up and down. If you raise them up, then that can release the passenger pod from behind. So unlike the original, which held 4 figures in the back, but only came with 3, this one comes with 3, so that one of each of the stormtroopers can sit on a seat, and then it attaches with this Technic mechanism back here, and when you pull the wings back down, it locks into place, and you can fly these guys around. When they land, you can just kind of leave that behind, which is kind of cool. The overall design of this is pretty good. It's not bad. Not my favorite thing, but it does a pretty good job of making a usable vehicle. A lot of times the stuff that comes with these battle packs is just kind of a throw-in, but this is kind of cool. You also have these little areas here. There are several, 6 of them altogether, 2 on either side at the bottom and 2 at top, where you can put those stud shooters while the vehicle's in flight, so the figures don't have to carry them, but it can also act as weapons for the vehicle while it's transporting all the troops. So anyway, not a bad vehicle, not a bad build, and a pretty good representation of the original 2008 set while still keeping it modern with newer pieces and such. So this set retails for $20 here in the US, which is a bit much for a battle pack. Battle packs have been $15 or so for the last couple of years. They were $12 before that and $10 before that, so they keep inching up. I don't think, at least I hope, that $20 is not the new regular retail price for a battle pack. I believe the reason this one is $20 is because it's a 20th anniversary set, and it includes the extra exclusive figure. I think if this were just a normal battle pack, it would come with just the 4 figures, not this one, along with the build, and it would probably still be at $15. We'll see. Don't know what the new battle packs will be, but hopefully they will be back at the $15 price point. Alright, so that about does it for today. This has been Christian with Brick Life Crisis, taking a look at set number 75262, the Imperial Dropship 20th Anniversary Edition. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave us a like. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. And as always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Bye for now.